Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hi,
Hi.
welcome to VHS Action Rewind. Home of the VHSs.
Hi, I'm Cullen. I got my name right this time. And I collect VHS tapes.
And I'm his beautiful wife, Caitlin. And I watch those VHS tapes.
This is Halloween edition.
Woohoo! It's spooky season, our favorite season, BB, our favorite season. And
Yeah.
probably yours
Yeah,
too.
it's probably yours too.
Unless you're a big stupid nerd.
Halloween's got all the best things.
Halloween's got the best
It's
things.
got pumpkins.
Fall weather after a long hot summer.
It's got candies.
Yeah.
It's got spooky films.
And this week, Cullen tried his darndest to find a spooky action film. Did he succeed? No, he didn't.
So we watched, released in 1984, starring Tim Thomerson and baby-faced Helen Hunt. It's Trancers, baby! So Caitlin loved it.
I loved it.
Her favorite so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like a lot of nerds are going to be pretty unhappy with me.
This is a beloved B-movie franchise.
And I don't give a shit. All of you who beloved it are wrong. I have a lot of problems with this, and I went in thinking I was going to love it because... So I love Blade Runner. Uh-huh. It's like the perfect film. It's so good. Really, I love sci-fi movies. I do. I'm a little bit of a, I guess, like a snob or like bougie about sci-fi movies. Maybe basic about sci-fi movies where I like... They gotta be big budget. Like, I love indie movies. I love fucking weird, shitty... low-budget movies, except whenever it comes to sci-fi. Unless it's, like, so low-budget, it's fucking ridiculous.
Which just kind of was.
No, they tried to be... It wasn't... Okay. It was the worst middle ground. I don't know. I hated it. It was... Well, we'll just get into it, okay?
Yeah. I, on the other hand, really loved this movie. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It is kind of like a combination of Blade Runner, Terminator, and then George Romero zombies.
Which, let me just say, all three of those I fucking love.
Yeah.
And I hated this.
And then it's got like a comedy sort of like through line.
No.
And I think
it wasn't. There was nothing funny in this. They tried to make the leading man sexy, and boy was he not sexy. Yeah. So, you know how Invasion USA, I talked about the infamous, like, white guy who won't wear sunscreen? That's what this man was. He was burnt to a crisp. He had that red color. They're just permanently sunburned. They're too fair to be out in the sun without sunscreen. It's not right. I hate it so much. Guys. The sun ages you so much. I understand that a lot of you are watching and are like, I don't give a shit what I look like. You should. There are some simple things that you can do to take care of yourself. Sunscreen is the number one. Drink water and put on sunscreen. For the love of fucking Christ, please wear sunscreen. This man, I truly thought he was 80 years old. I was like, they got this old ass man boofing Helen Hunt, and she looked like she was 16. Yeah. It was crazy. She was 22 in this film, and he was 39, which is like too old for them to match with the 22-year-old, but like, I was shocked. I was shook, if you will, that he was only 39, because he legitimately, like, maybe he didn't look 80, he legitimately, I would have guessed 55. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, from not fucking wearing sunscreen. Mm-hmm. Please wear sunscreen or you're gonna look like this man, okay?
I have to agree with that point. I like Tim Thomerson.
Why is his name Tim Thomerson? Is that a joke?
Because that's his name, Caitlin. He's got a fun name. I think he did a good job. I enjoyed his character. There are some things about his relationship with Helen Hunt that is really fucking weird and doesn't work. And if they would have made one little change that Caitlin mentioned, it would have been perfect.
Father-daughter.
Yes.
Their chemistry was father-daughter. If you didn't see the sex scene, then your life is better. Trust me, don't watch it if you haven't seen it. You will want to die.
That was too much.
And it wasn't even a sex scene. It's just her playing with, like, his old man chest hair. She looks very young. I was shocked that she was 22 because she looked very, very young.
Yeah. But Helen Hunt is also really good in this.
She's great in it. They made her a punk. Like, the Wikipedia kept saying she was a punk. She looked like a valley girl. There was nothing... Just because you put, like, a little blue streak in your hair, that doesn't... Anyways.
She took him to a punk rock show.
Oh,
where the band was clear the worst ADR I've ever seen in my life.
That was the worst ADR. They ended the song and the band continued to play and the guy continued to scream into the microphone with no sound. When they were on the motorcycle, I was like, this is a good, daddy-daughter date. And then you're hit with the reality again of, no, they're supposed to be lovers in this, which is so awful. I was sickened to my core. I don't like that, the cliche of, like, the old man with the young girl anyways. And the fact that they picked the oldest looking 39-year-old on the planet and, like, the youngest looking 22-year-old on the planet and put them together. Yikes, 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 yikes.
First part takes place in the year 2247 in a dystopian future Los Angeles. And we know it's dystopian future because Tim Thomerson has on a duster. The diner that he goes to, there's a lot of tubes. There's tubes everywhere. His car has tubes on it, so we know
they're hamsters.
That it's long in the future, baby.
Yeah.
Los Angeles proper downtown is completely submerged underwater, so that's a thing too. So for my nerd fact.
Nerd facts, wow!
These are facts, and facts don't care about your feelings.
Trancers was made for only $400,000, which at that time is like nothing.
Okay, I love that you say at that time was nothing. Now it's a lot.
Now it's so much money because things trended upward, baby.
Yeah.
Capitalism worked.
Yeah. Okay, well, I feel like I could have made a movie better than this with $3, so
wow.
Come fight me, nerds.
I think they did a really good job with it.
It's aesthetically disgusting.
I disagree. I feel like for
well,
as
you're
little
not
money
allowed
as
to.
they had,
it's so ugly. The colors are ugly. Everything's ugly.
I was surprised when I saw that it was only $400,000, to be totally honest with you.
Shut the fuck up.
I really was. I swear to God.
Never Too Young to Die looked better than this aesthetically. Yes, it did.
The future stuff, you can definitely see that it's no money. So Tim Thomerson's playing this
Stop
detective.
saying his name.
Little Timmy is playing a character named Jack Death, and he's like a detective, basically a Blade Runner, but instead of hunting androids, he's hunting what are called Trancers.
Yeah, a Blade Runner, just not cool.
Trancers are people that have literally been put under a trance and are being controlled by this guy named Whistler, who is a pretty lame bad guy, to be honest. Mm-hmm. The Trancers are where it's at. They're what's fun, but they look like normal people.
Okay.
Okay, all right. They look like normal people, but when you call them out and be like, "You're a Trancer," then they turn into like a Dawn of the Dead zombie.
Yeah, I liked that, but everything was so grainy. Felt like I needed like extra pair of glasses to watch this. I couldn't see it. It was so grainy. This I was like, what is happening? It can't all just be camera quality or budget, because I've seen plenty of low budget movies that I can actually fucking see.
What about when they end up going to present day Los Angeles? Was that better?
No. In the daylight, you'd think it'd be better. No, it wasn't. I don't know if I'm just misremembering and it's like crackly in my memory, or if it really was that bad. I need to see a screenshot of it. Let's look it up.
But spoiler alert, time travel is involved. So basically, in the future, this Whistler guy has traveled back in time and he's killing the ancestors of this council.
Yeah, no. See, you can't even see the shape of his face. You can't even see his features because it's so bad. I'm sorry, go on.
She's so wrong. So there's this 3 people that I guess are the government at that point in history.
The government.
They're the government, and killed off because this bad guy is going back in time, creating more Trancers in 1985 and killing their ancestors, which is pretty much, again, to mention Terminator, is kind of the plot of Terminator, but those 2 movies came out, Trancers and Terminator came out within a couple weeks of each other.
Why couldn't they just get, like, a good leading man?
He's gross looking, but he's got...
Tibby Toberson, what's his name?
Little tibbies. And he's not pleasing to the eyes, I'll give you that. But he's got personality.
Or any other sense.
He's got a great personality, sorry.
Like how?
He's just...
What do you like about him?
He's got wit. He's cracking jokes. He's cracking jokes through the whole movie.
Name a joke.
Okay. Well, I don't know off the top of my head, but they're in there.
You're much more of a fanboy in front of the camera than you are in real life. Let me just tell you guys. Because there was none of this shit when we were watching it.
Well, there was in my heart.
I feel like I'm gonna get, like...
You were gonna get death threats.
Oh, I know. You know, like, how in the olden days, people would be, like, outside with, like, tiki torches.
They would have a luau out in front of someone's house.
Shut the fuck up. They'd be out there with, like, their torches.
And their pitchforks.
I don't know why I said tiki torches. I just said torches. Yeah, and they're like, come outside, you piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
That's what's going to happen to me.
Probably.
Because of this, my hatred for Trancers. And honestly, I don't care. And you're still wrong. And I don't know, like, probably put my hemorrhoided butthole on the window and say, fuck you. Fuck you. Leave me alone. You're wrong. You're all wrong. Go home.
That'll be well played.
Thanks.
But back to the plot. As I said, time travel is involved, but instead of just going back in time, Lil Timmy has to transfer to the body of one of his ancestors. Luckily, it looks just like him. But, yeah, so there's Trancers in 1985, and Helen Hunt's there, and that's about the movie. It happens to take place on Christmas, so there's a Santa Claus Trancer. That's pretty fun. That's a pretty fun scene.
I would disagree. Another gripe that I have is when movies are obviously shot in the summertime, like it's very hot. Mm-hmm. If it's warm outside, you don't get... I'm sorry. Christ did not die for our sins for this to happen.
You don't get a Christmas.
Yeah.
Keep the cold in Christmas.
That is absolutely right, baby. I'm so glad you said that. Keep Christ cold.
Okay, so clearly we're not seeing eye to eye on Trancers. So I think we're gonna have to see other people.
Okay. Do you want to see Tibby Toberson's?
Yeah, I want to see Tibby Toberson.
Okay.
Little
Great.
Tibby.
Do you need to cry?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
You want to do Hot or Not?
Let's do Hot or Not.
So, Jack Death, Timmy Tomerson. I think we've already pretty much covered this.
About
I
all
would
my
say
reasons.
physically, not. Personality-wise, yes from me.
There's one thing that I like about him, and it's that he's, like, brooding. So I like whenever men don't talk. I just find it nice.
Well, what about Helen Hunt?
She was fine, I guess.
I thought she was great in it. As far as a hot or not situation, I'd probably have to say not, because she looks like she's 12 years old.
She looks like a kid. Let's go with... So she's not my type physically. She's an attractive lady, just not my type physically. Personality-wise, she, her personality's not my type either, so not. All around not. I'm sorry. Helen Hunt's great. Yeah. I think friendship-wise, we'd probably be pals.
Yeah, she's pretty fun in this movie. There's my favorite scene of hers is when she crashes a motorcycle through someone's apartment.
Could you just get the door for me, please?
Door? Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, what about Santa Claus Trancer?
Hot.
Sexy as fuck. Okay, Whistler.
I don't remember what he looks like. His hairline is too receding, and he needs to just shave his head.
So he kind of looks like a poor man's John Saxon. But yeah, Whistler,
Okay.
not. He doesn't look good.
No.
He's also not that interesting of a bad guy. The Trancers are way more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he does look like a 1980s, evil Wall Street business guy, which is very realistic. Yeah, maybe too real. I like cartoonish villains.
I guess we should do a
Rating
for this.
Okay. Yeah.
So Caitlin, we know you loved it, so it's definitely a 10 out of 10 from you.
I'm stressed out, guys.
Wow.
I feel like I'm being bullied into giving it a better score than it really deserves, because I know this is gonna cause controversy if anyone watches this.
Beloved franchise, Trancers. Currently has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Rate it what you want to rate it. It's
a
okay.
4. Gosh darn it. I give it a 4. It tried. It didn't succeed for me, and I feel like it's one of those movies that has hype. I really did go in with a positive attitude because it's spooky season.
You gotta be positive in spooky season.
A movie's aesthetics are very important to me, and you can have amazing aesthetics if you're low budget. I didn't like him as a leading man, which I feel like I'm gonna get shit for, because I'm sure he's fucking beloved too. He's got a dumb fucking name, and he should have worn sunscreen.
So I will say my gripes with the movie, definitely the Helen Hunt, Tim Thomerson age difference. I think Whistler needed to be either a more interesting character or taken more of a back seat and had more Trancer stuff, because that's what was interesting to me. Small gripe, they can't go back in time. They can only inhabit the body of their ancestors, but still they can send a little box back in time with a gun and a magic watch inside that slows down time for a second. So that didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I thought it was a lot of fun. It combined a lot of things I love, like Blade Runner aesthetic. It combined kind of like a horror action comedy, which I love. And it combined zombies. I thought it was great, especially considering that it's super low budget. It was made for basically no money. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So for combining mine with yours, you give it a 4, I give it a 7. So 5.5 out of 10. 5.5 out of 10. Although, I just want everyone to remember, I gave it a 7. So when you come knocking on our door, is the one you want. I'm cool. Well, should we sign off? So, what do we always say?
We're always saying, baby, you light up our days. You're special to us. And gosh darn it, we appreciate all your donations.
Thank you. Goodbye. Happy spooky season!
Happy spooky season!
Spooky season. Spooky season. Spooky season.
We'll give you $100 if you can guess what we're gonna dress as for Halloween.
It's the Trancers.